This is what you never knew about GTA 3's development. It's hard to make any video game, especially video games the size of Grand Theft Auto. However, the making of Grand Theft Auto 3 was particularly tough, and in this video we look at some of the biggest reasons why. Make sure you watch this video without skipping, because some of these facts will shock you. Before we start, however, why not show us some love by liking and subscribing to the channel? Turn on the bell for notifications if you have already. And without wasting any more time, let's jump into the content. The Ghost Town. You surely don't know this fact, but one of the maps is supposed to be inaccessible, dubbed Ghost Town. It is the area where the opening bank robbery takes place. The developer made and shoved it somewhere they thought players would never be able to reach. However, through some tricky maneuvering, you can reach this area. Although there is nothing to see, it became a part of urban legends surrounding GTA 3, with some theorizing it was cut content. Rockstar later laid these rumors to rest, confirming that it was only ever meant for the introduction. Renderware Game Engine. The 3 PS2 GTA games run on the Renderware engine from Criterion Games. This engine powered tons of games, most of which you would never think had anything in common. In addition to the Burnout series, Max Payne 2 from Remedy Games also runs on the same engine, and the 3D Mortal Kombat games of the generations utilize it too. The following generations introduced the Rage engine, which is still in use by Rockstar Games. Planned multiplayer. Rockstar doesn't do something unless it feels it can do it right. The idea of multiplayer was toyed with in the game's early stages of development, but was trashed before the concept got off the ground. The studio said it wanted the multiplayer to be as fun as the single player, so it wasn't fully implemented until GTA 4. Though San Andreas also had a small multiplayer component. Now, GTA Online, which takes place with GTA 5's Los Santos, is one of the most popular live game ever, so it looked like the waiting paid off. Liberty City was not meant to be New York City. Liberty City is supposed to be an amalgam of major American cities. However, most people associate it with New York, and the Liberty City from the GTA 4 is definitely more identifiable as a copy of New York City. The continuity of the islands is meant to represent a certain progression. However, Portland is run down and Staunton Islands is the rich and glitzy downtown. The final island, Shoresideville, is more suburban and features a dam. Silent Claude. Do you notice how Claude is a completely silent protagonist? In a Q&A, the developers state this was purely done because they were busy putting resources towards other parts of the project. The massive amount of spoken dialogue and motion capture data was unprecedented at the time, so having a talking protagonist would have been just another challenge to add to the pile. Also at the time, silent protagonists were not so uncommon. Darko. One cut character who gained notoriety through the years is Darko. He looks unkempt and was planned to be a mission giver. The developers removed him after cutting too many of his missions to the point where he was no longer an integral part of the story. Some theorized that he was a part of the cut content taken out after 9/11, but this has since been confirmed as false. Changes that were made because of 9/11. Speaking of 9/11, GTA 3 came out less than 2 months after the terrorist attacks on New York City's World Trade Center on September 11, 2001. Because of this tragedy, several elements of the final product were quickly changed or removed entirely. For years, rumors swirled about what exactly was taken out. According to a Q&A on Rockstar's website, the game was only about 1% different because of the attacks. One mission was removed and the color of police cars was changed. Smaller adjustments like lines of dialogues and radio chatter were also made. The original box art also underwent a change for the US release, though it remained unchanged in Europe. A cartoonish style game. Early screenshots of the game shows a more cartoonish look. It wasn't exactly on par with the Simpsons aesthetic, but it was not as grounded as the final product. No exact reasons was given for why this was changed. Ultimately, Rockstar Games goes for realistic graphics. The studio's most recent release, Red Dead Redemption 2, is nearly photorealistic when you gaze upon some of its vistas. We wonder if the game would have been as iconic if it retained the cartoonish look of the early prototype. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching.